Hello Stampers, this is Kate with Kate's Creations, ready to share another Stampin' Up! Card with you today. We're still in Christmas mode. It's early November and trying to get those all done so that I can get them in the mail the first week of December. So thought I'd share another idea with you, but before I do, as you know, I create a lot of different things with my Glowforge laser cutter, and so I thought I'd share today again something I've been making. I made a set of, I'm making ornament sets, and they're about 5 inches, I think, across. I have to measure those. Oh, just 4-inch circles. And the 4 of them, wise men, shepherds, angel, and manger scene. And then they have the scriptures. So basically the set of 4 tells the Christmas story, which is really kind of fun. And they're made with acrylic in the background, and you can kind of see how the color shines through. If you have them, if you're hanging them and the light shines through them, aren't they beautiful? I just love them. And the way that the acrylic is, it has a different kind of design behind each one. Like this one, doesn't that just look like shepherds out in the field with the stars? Anyway, that's been fun. And then because I have scrap at the edges of my acrylic, I decided I would make some of these, which are just little, they could be keychains, they could be a zipper pull, they could be small ornaments on your tree. So there's those, and then, sorry, that's pitch from cleaning up my yard the other day. And then this is some earrings, some little nativity scene earrings. Aren't they cute? Anyway, that's something I've been doing when I'm not making cards. And sometimes what I do is, this takes a long time, like 30 minutes for all the engraving to happen. So while it's engraving, I'm over here designing cards. So let me share with you what my latest card design is. So here's our sheet that tells us, let's make sure it gets into the picture here. There you go. I'm using the Brightest Glow stamp set for the sentiment, and I'm using the I think it's this one, May the Piece of the Season Light Your World. And then I'm using the Joyful Flurry bundle, which is, of course, the dies and the stamp set. And that's all the stamps I'm using. And then stamps and dies, I should say. And this is the card we're going to be making. And I absolutely, really, I think it's beautiful. And it's got a lot of sparkle to it. And I think it's going to be fun to make. So let's get started. The color of ink I used was the Starry Sky ink pad. I'm also using Wink of Stella, and you'll see I have some basic jewels rhinestones, and I used 4 large, 7 medium, and 2 small. So you know, basic white is also involved here, and there's 2 pieces, one for the outside and one for the inside, because on the inside I put the greeting. I just couldn't put a greeting on the front here. I didn't want to distract from the beauty of the card. So the greeting is on the inside, with still plenty of room for a personal note and a signature line. Okay, we'll put that over here. And here's the base card, Knight of Navy, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 to make an A2 greeting card. Find my thing, my bone folder, to make a side fold greeting card. Then layer 1 is the basic white. It is 4 by 5 1/4, and I have used the die to cut out this one large snowflake that doesn't actually cut out, it just creates pieces that can be brought up to make dimension, and I've already put that in there. Then what I did is I took the outline die and I cut a piece, and I'm going to put this on here with a piece of removable adhesive to cover up this snowflake. For the most part, it doesn't cover up the little dotted lines, but it'll cover up the bulk of the snowflake. See if I can get it to line up pretty good here. And that temporary tape just keeps this from moving around. And the reason I did that is because I wanted those blue polka dots on the front of my card. And I'm using the die, of course, the stamp, and the Starry Sky ink. And I'm just going to put it all over the front of the card, but I didn't want it over the top of that snowflake. I didn't want that snowflake to have marks on it. And so I'm kind of going around it. And this keeps me from stamping on the snowflake itself. So yeah, I just created a mask, right? So easy to do and makes life simple. And you want to kind of turn this maybe, be careful, see how it gets all blue. No matter how light I tap, it seems to want to do that because those dots are not very deep. As long as you don't press really hard, you'll be fine. Just tap it to your paper. As long as you've got good ink on there, it's not going to need to be like pressed into your paper, your cardstock. Let's put one here, and let's put one over here. There we go. It's done. Now I can peel that up, and there's my thing. So there's tip number 1 for the day. Use masks to create backgrounds and stuff. Okay, then I have my pieces here that I have already stamped and die cut. And I'm supposed to have 2 of those. Hopefully, here it is. And what I did was I put Wink of Stella on them. And I don't know if you remember from the last video, maybe you didn't catch it, but my Wink of Stella was getting low, and you can refill these. You take it apart, you screw the top off, you pry that little piece, that little black stopper out. You might want to put it over a paper towel or something, but there's lots of sparkly still in there. So I used the 91% isopropyl alcohol. You put in 5 or 6 drops, put it all back together, and shake the stuffings out of it. Get that alcohol to mix up with that shiny stuff that's in there. And the reason you use alcohol, the higher the percentage, the better, because it dries quicker, evaporates faster, and so you don't get soggy paper. So that's why I use the higher number. And it does bring life back to it. I do write on my things. I actually started using this in June of 2022, and I put a refill in it of 10 and 22. It kind of helps me get an idea of how long I've been using it and what to watch out for. Excuse me. If you notice that it's just not coming out as sparkly as it usually does, it's because it's getting low. And so that's what I did. And so then I just tried to, I didn't like color the whole thing, but I just tried to follow the lines, but I wasn't worried about staying like inside the lines. I just kind of went all the way around. Whoops. It started coming out really fast there. That's okay. When it dries, it's going to look beautiful. So we're just going to keep going. I don't know if you can see how sparkly it got all of a sudden. I want it really super sparkly, so that's really okay with me. It looks kind of funky when it's wet, but when it dries, it's beautiful. So we'll let that sit, and we'll do these others. We'll let them get, they'll be drying while I'm doing the others. These I did try to kind of stay within the marks. Not super careful, but somewhat careful. I mean, you can be as particular about it as you wish. I've never been one to be real fussy about staying in the lines. So my example might not be the best. Just saying. So it's been raining here. I live in the Pacific Northwest. This is Sequim, Washington. It's about 100 and some miles west of Seattle. Most everybody knows where Seattle is. home of the Seahawks and all that stuff. And so yeah, it's been pretty rainy here for the last few days. For Squim, we've gotten quite a bit of rain. Squim doesn't typically get a lot of rain. I think we've gotten a couple inches in the last 3 or 4 days. Okay, there's all of those colored and ready to go. I'm going to give them a minute to dry, and I'll talk about the rhinestones. I'm going to put rhinestones in the centers, and but I'm going to take a few of these medium-sized rhinestones, and I'm going to color them with the Starry Sky, dark Starry Sky Blends pen. As you know, if you didn't, tip number 3, these do dry on non-porous surfaces, and so you can color your rhinestones to match whatever card you are making, which is totally awesome. And so we'll just gently color a few of those and set those aside. They dry very quickly, but we'll do that and set those aside. Now this one is going to go on the inside, and since we're waiting for things to dry just a little bit longer, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside of my card. Put the Stampin' Seal on here. Sticks to you. And we'll just put this on the inside of the card like this. And it's cut so it leaves an 1/8 inch border. Just lay it down carefully. There we go. And then, like I said, I stamped the sentiment on the inside of the card. So let's do that. Looks good. And I just centered it, and I stayed close to the top. There we go. And then I added a few of these little snowflakes to the inside as well. Just put one there and one down there, just like that. That's all there was to it. So then we're going to close this ink pad up because I don't need it anymore. And let's see how this is doing. Getting there. It does take a little while, especially if you put it on very thick, for that ink to dry. This is going to go on the front of the card flat. And we can go ahead and attach that, but before I do, I want to kind of bend up these little pieces, give them a head start. You can always use your pokey tool or your pick tool to lift these up even after you've attached it, because it takes a little while. And don't forget that these lift up as well. So probably best to start in the middle and work out, because then you're not putting others back down when you're doing it. But we'll go around and pick these up. What makes this really cool is then it lets the blue show in from behind the white, which is really fun. I'm sure you've seen other cards that do it. Mine's not unique in that sense. I'm sure lots of others have thought of this same process. And we'll get those peeled up. And they're going to get pressed back down a little bit when here we go. I'm going to turn it over and put my adhesive on the back, and so they're going to get pressed back down a little bit, but at least they've been made sure they broke loose, and I'll be able to get my pick tool underneath them and help them stand up a little bit more. Now I put this design pretty close to the edge here, so I'm avoiding putting adhesive over that. Obviously I don't want those to stick, so I'm watching out for that. And then again, this goes on the front of the card. Make sure I'm doing it right. And 1/8 inch border. Lay it down so I got 3 sides. If those 3 sides look good, then the rest seems to be good too. And you can see most of them stayed up, but you can still come back and do this with your pokey tool and help them stay up even better. And they're going to get flattened down a little bit when you put it in the envelope to send it. Then all of these I attached with dimensionals. I'll find my dimensionals, and we're going to turn these over. And so you've got bling with the wink, And I just put one right in the middle of each of them. I didn't get too carried away. There's my little cup over here for all the pieces. It's so handy to have that little cup right there next to me. And I put a big one on these. It actually fits. You could use the mini if you wanted to. There we go. And then it's just a matter of attaching these however you want to. I'm going to stay pretty much to my original design. Am I getting in the picture better? Let me move it over here a little bit better. And I'm going to put one here, and one here, and one here. Now it's already got some sparkle because of that wink of Stella, and you can kind of see it shimmering there. But now we're going to put the rhinestones on. I used the large rhinestones in the center of this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. So there's 4 large rhinestones. Then I used small rhinestones. No, then I used 2 small rhinestones. Yes, the smallest ones, these ones, in the centers of these little guys. So there's 2 of those. And then for the medium ones, those are the ones I colored with the blends pen. And here they are, they're blue. And I just randomly put them out here in this snowy background. And I colored way more than I needed probably. But I used 7 on my first card. Obviously that's going to be total choice of yours, how many you put on. It needs one here. And so, and I'm going to put one down there. And I think it needs one in here. And one over here. And how many did I end up using? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I ended up using 8. So there you go. So there is today's card. It's got just enough bling to be beautiful. It's a subtle bling. You've got that subtle wink of Stella bling. Then you've got the rhinestone bling and the colored rhinestones. And I really like it. I think it's a beautiful card. I wish I could capture it even better for you, but it's lovely how the blue shines out or comes out from behind. And then the sentiment inside is just gorgeous. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my Glowforge projects as well. If you're interested at all in any of those, you can always message me. I am selling those sets for $50. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. Look forward to sharing another Christmas card with you soon.